Hey, what's going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick first impressions review of The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 11, which is titled Bounty. Now, later in the week, I most likely will be bringing you guys a more in-depth breakdown of the episode, but for now, this is just first impressions reaction of the episode. I freaking loved it. Such a good episode. From every second of it, I really did generally enjoy. So starting off with, we had obviously two different storylines going on in the episode. We had the Kingdom supply run for obviously the movie bulb that they wanted to get, as well as the Hilltop Exchange, which a lot of people, you would think they would complain and say that a whole exchange between, two hostages and another hostage, well, three hostages in total, how could that possibly go on for a whole episode? But The Walking Dead always finds amazing ways to make things kind of fleshed out more. And people call it dragging out, people call it filler, they call it all those things. I call it fleshing out, and and it's a good thing. It obviously depends. If it's done right, it's a good thing. I know a lot of people who are just like, why couldn't they just do the exchange in the first 10 minutes and then just get over with it? We don't need to see a whole episode of this. But every second of this episode, I felt was needed. I don't think The Walking Dead has that much filler at all. I'm going to be completely honest. The Walking Dead is very, very good at making everything that happens useful in some way, shape, or form. Even if it doesn't seem useful at first, it will come into usefulness in the future. And they do a very good job at most of the time, not including much filler content. So this episode, let's start off with the Kingdom stuff. Obviously, it wasn't the best part of the episode. In no way, shape, or form was it the best part of the episode. It was still really intense and really fun and really... It was just nice. It was a nice kind of fun, silly sort of portion of the episode. You had that music playing and it just gave some laughs and some comedy into the show, which is nice because obviously when you have seasons and seasons of being, at war or being in terrible positions, you're not going to have much comedy. So when you get into these portions of the show where it's like much more peaceful and much more calm, obviously the whispers are starting to rise now, so that calmness is going completely away. But obviously the Kingdom is still at a position where they're not really dealing with many issues outside of, thinking about the fair, right? They don't know about Jesus dying. They don't know about the Whisperers yet. So it's nice to see them kind of enjoying themselves on the supply run and not having any problems on it, which was nice. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the development between, Ezekiel and Carol, and we have some stuff with Jerry there, which was nice, with his kids. That was cool. So I'm happy with that. Then, of course, we get the more exciting part of the episode, of course, which is the Hilltop Exchange. I loved every second of it. Not only is Alpha probably one of the coolest villains we've ever gotten, Samantha Morton's doing a great job, I gotta say, with, just not showing any emotion, which you might be like, why would that be a good thing? You want emotion in characters, but that's what Alpha's supposed to be. She's supposed to be an emotionless, psychotic robot, basically. That's who she is, right? And seeing her be done really well is just awesome in my opinion. Love all the stuff with the Whispers. Love all the stuff with Lydia and Henry, of course. A lot of people are just, I can't stand people they're just calling out Henry saying Carl will be better. Dude, if Carl was in this arc, it would be the same thing. They would do the same thing, just like he did in the comics. He let Lydia out and he tried to, save her, and then when after her got people killed in the end. They had to give that to a character, and they gave that to Henry. And it works better with Henry than it would with Carl, because Carl would be 22 at this point in the show. It wouldn't work with Carl, right? Henry is much more at the point where it could actually work. And I'm loving Henry's character. Yes, he's making dumb decisions. Yes, but you got to realize he's a kid, okay? He just got to the new community. He doesn't really know his place there, and he wants, be with somebody, and he doesn't really have that person. And he finds this girl, and she's all nice and sweet, and she's getting attacked by Daryl, basically, and he just wants to protect her now. That's what he wants. He wants someone to be able to protect. He doesn't have that, so that's what he's trying to do. And people who don't understand that are kind of people who probably have never really been in this position before, and it's really not that hard to understand where Henry's coming from, even if you haven't. So just bashing the kid, calling him terrible, saying he needs to die, dude, it's a TV show. Calm down. He's a well-written character, though, so you have to understand that. But I love that stuff. People said the kiss was forced. I didn't think it was forced at all. Look at the comics. Lydia and Carl had sex literally the day after he let him out. Come on. This was not forced at all. It was Lydia basically thinking, I'm never going to see him again, and he's a really nice kid. I'm going to kiss him. and then we'll move on our merry way. It fit and it worked very well. One thing that I find interesting is what they're doing with Connie. Clearly, they decided to do something with Connie because they had her save the baby, obviously, and now they're having her go out with Daryl on this supply run. So I have no idea what they're planning with her. I don't know if they're just doing it because they want to have interesting conflict because of the fact that she's deaf. Obviously, it adds an interesting layer of conflict. Which, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a writing flaw to have her go out on her own like that with Daryl. Not really technically on her own, but it is a bad decision on her part, obviously, to go out there with Daryl, because without Kelly, not knowing the sign language, Daryl doesn't know sign language, you're going to have struggles. There's going to be problems with communication, especially if you come across the Whispers. There's going to be some issues. But I think it's still cool to see a character that we don't really know that much get some development, so we can see her kind of develop over the seasons, which I don't know if they're going to kill her off with the spikes. They're giving her a lot of screen time now, so there's definitely a chance of that. Definitely at least one person from Luke's or Magna's group is definitely going to go, whether it be Luke, Kelly, or Connie. It's going to be one of those three. It's not going to be Magna or Yumiko, definitely not. But it's going to be one of those three. Probably Luke, honestly. I think it's going to be Luke. I'd rather it be Kelly, though, because I'm least interested in Kelly out of all three of those characters. We'll have to wait and see, of course. I don't really know. I want to talk about a spoiler. I'm not going to do it now. That's a spoiler that for a future episode that's kind of rumored about a specific character that could possibly be dying. I don't want to talk about it in this video because it's not a spoiler video, but in the future I do want to talk about that. So just know that I probably will make a video about it in the future. So be ready for that. Soundtrack was amazing this episode. They've been doing a really good job of making the soundtrack really, really freaking well when it comes to the Whispers and everything happening with them. The whole baby sequence was awesome. That was a really cool sequence. And Daryl, of course, still being probably my favorite character, easily my favorite character on the show as of right now. I might do a top 10 favorite characters that are on the show right now because that'd be fun to do. There's a lot of different characters now that we don't have as many characters as we had in the past. And doing top 10 characters that are alive on the show right now can definitely be different depending on if I was to do top 10 characters of all time. Of all time would be a lot different. Obviously, you'd have Rick number one, but Daryl's kind of number one now because he's been doing some pretty cool stuff. A lot of people say Angela Kang saved his character. Well, I think his character was great in the past seasons. He's just needed some stuff to kind of develop him. And obviously Rick's death is not Rick's death, but Rick's supposed death, what he thinks is his death, completely changed him and is making him more of a leader, which is great. And that's an awesome thing about his character. I love this character in season 7 and 8. It's just he was kind of a dick, kind of a reckless idiot in some ways. But that was part of who he was, and that's just kind of how it is. You can't say a character's written bad just because they're not smart. It's like, well, not everyone's Einstein, so you got to realize that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Overall, this episode was fan-freaking-tastic. I'm really excited for episode 12. We have some awesome stuff going on with Beta. I might do a breakdown of the promos and the sneak peeks as well. I don't know. Probably not. I'm saying all this stuff, but this is probably the most busiest week for me that I've ever had in my entire life in terms of work and school and sports and stuff. It's just a lot of shit going on right now. So probably not, but we'll hope for the best. Maybe I'll come out with something within the next few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.